Province of Shariff Kabunsuan by Sima v COMELEC. Facts: the ordinance appended to the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines apportioned 2 legislative districts for Maguindanao. The first consists of Cotabato City and 8 municipalities. Maguindanao forms part of the ARMM, created under its Organic Act, RA 6734, as amended by RA 9054. Cotabato City, as part of Maguindanao's first legislative district, is not part of the ARMM but of Region 12. On August 28, 2006, the ARMM's legislature, the ARMM Regional Assembly, exercising its power to create provinces under Section 19, Article 6 of RA 9054, enacted Muslim Mindanao Autonomy Act No. 201 creating the province of Shariff Kabunsuan composed of the 8 municipalities in the 1st district of Maguindanao. Later, 3 new municipalities were carved out of the original 9, constituting Shariff Kabunsuan, resulting to total of 11. Cotabato City is not part of Maguindanao. Maguindanao voters ratified Shariff Kabunsuan's creation in October 29, 2006 plebiscite. On February 6, 2007, Cotabato City passed Board Resolution No. 3999, requesting the COMELEC to clarify the status of Cotabato City in view of the conversion of the 1st District of Maguindanao into a regular province under MMA Act 201. The COMELEC issued Resolution No. 07-0407 on March 6, 2007 maintaining the status quo with Cotabato City as part of Shariff Kabunsuan in the 1st Legislative District of Maguindanao. Resolution No. 07-0407, adopted the COMELEC's Law Department recommendation under a memorandum dated February 27, 2007. The COMELEC issued on March 29, 2007 Resolution No. 7845 stating that Maguindanao's 1st legislative district is composed only of Cotabato City because of the enactment of MMA Act 201. On May 10, 2007, the COMELEC issued Resolution No. 7902. Amending Resolution No. 07-0407 by renaming the legislative district in question as Shariff Kabunsuan Province with Cotabato City. Meanwhile, the Shariff Kabunsuan creation plebiscite was supervised and officiated by the COMELEC pursuant to Resolution No. 7727. The following municipalities seceded from Maguindanao and formed the new province. All of them were from the 1st Legislative District of Maguindanao. Kabuntalan was chosen as the capital of the new province. The province was the first to be created under Republic Act No. 9054 or the expanded ARMM law. Sandra Sima questioned COMELEC Resolution 7902 which combined Shariff Kabunsuan and Cotabato City into a single legislative district during the Philippine general election, 2007. Sima lost to incumbent Congress representative of the Shariff Kabunsuan and Cotabato district, Didajan Dilangalan. Issue: whether the ARMM Regional Assembly can create the province of Shariff Kabunsuan. Ratio: the creation of any of the 4 local government units, province, city, municipality, or barangay, must comply with 3 conditions. First, the creation of a local government unit must follow the criteria fixed in the Local Government Code. Second, such creation must not conflict with any provision of the Constitution. Third, there must be a plebiscite in the political units affected. There is neither an express prohibition nor an express grant of authority in the Constitution for Congress to delegate to regional or local legislative bodies the power to create local government units. However, under its plenary legislative powers, Congress can delegate to local legislative bodies the power to create local government units. Subject to reasonable standards and provided no conflict arises with any provision of the Constitution. In fact, Congress has delegated to provincial boards and city and municipal councils the power to create baranais within their jurisdiction. Subject to compliance with the criteria established in the Local Government Code, and the plebiscite requirement in Section 10, Article X of the Constitution. However, under the Local Government Code, only XXX an Act of Congress can create provinces, cities, or municipalities. Under Section 19, Article 6 of RA 9054, Congress delegated to the ARMM Regional Assembly the power to create provinces, cities, municipalities, and baranais within the ARMM. Congress made the delegation under its plenary legislative powers because the power to create local government units is not one of the express legislative powers granted by the Constitution to regional legislative bodies. In the present case, the question arises whether the delegation to the ARMM Regional Assembly of the power to create provinces, cities, municipalities, and baranais conflicts with any provision of the Constitution. There is no provision in the Constitution that conflicts with the delegation to regional legislative bodies of the power to create municipalities and baranais, provided Section 10, Article X of the Constitution is followed. However, the creation of provinces and cities is another matter. Section 5. Article 6 of the Constitution provides, each city with a population of at least 250,000, or each province, shall have at least one representative in the House of Representatives. Similarly, Section 3 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution provides, any province that may hereafter be created, or any city whose population may hereafter increase to more than 250,000 shall be entitled in the immediately following election to at least one member XXX. Clearly, a province cannot be created without a legislative district because it will violate Section 5, Article 6 of the Constitution as well as Section 3 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution. For the same reason, a city with a population of 250,000 or more cannot also be created without a legislative district. Thus, the power to create a province, or a city with a population of 250,000 or more, requires also the power to create a legislative district. Even the creation of a city with a population of less than 250,000 involves the power to create a legislative district because once the city's population reaches 250,000, the city automatically becomes entitled to one representative under Section 5, Article 6 of the Constitution and Section 3 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution. Thus, the power to create a province or city inherently involves the power to create a legislative district. Legislative districts are created or reportioned only by an act of Congress under the present Constitution, as well as in past constitutions. The power to increase the allowable membership in the House of Representatives, and to reportion legislative districts, is vested exclusively in Congress. Section 5, Article 6 of the Constitution provides that Congress of the exclusive power to create or reportion legislative districts is logical. Congress is a national legislature and any increase in its allowable membership or in its incumbent membership through the creation of legislative districts must be embodied in a national law. Only Congress can enact such a law. It would be anomalous for regional or local legislative bodies to create or reportion legislative districts for a national legislature like Congress. An inferior legislative body, created by a superior legislative body, cannot change the membership of the superior legislative body. The creation of the ARMM, and the grant of legislative powers to its regional assembly under its Organic Act, did not divest Congress of its exclusive authority to create legislative districts. This is clear from the Constitution and the ARMM Organic Act, as amended. Nothing in Section 20, Article X of the Constitution authorizes autonomous regions, expressly or impliedly, to create or reportion legislative districts for Congress. On the other hand, Section 3, Article 4 of RA 9054 amending the ARMM Organic Act, provides, the Regional Assembly may exercise legislative power XXX except on the following matters: XXX national elections. XXX. Since the ARMM Regional Assembly has no legislative power to enact laws relating to national elections, it cannot create a legislative district whose representative is elected in national elections. Whenever Congress enacts a law creating a legislative district, the first representative is always elected in the next national elections from the effectivity of the law. Indeed, the office of a legislative district representative to Congress is a national office, and its occupant, a member of the House of Representatives, is a national official. It would be incongruous for a regional legislative body like the ARMM Regional Assembly to create a national office when its legislative powers extend only to its regional territory. The office of a district representative is maintained by national funds and the salary of its occupant is paid out of national funds. It is a self-evident inherent limitation on the legislative powers of every local or regional legislative body that it can only create local or regional offices, respectively, and it can never create a national office. To allow the ARMM Regional Assembly to create a national office is to allow its legislative powers to operate outside the ARMM's territorial jurisdiction. This violates Section 20, Article X of the Constitution, which expressly limits the coverage of the Regional Assembly's legislative powers within its territorial jurisdiction XXX. The ARMM Regional Assembly itself, in creating Shariff Kabunsuan, recognized the exclusive nature of Congress's power to create or reportion legislative districts by abstaining from creating a legislative district for Shariff Kabunsuan. First, the issue in Felway, among others, was whether Republic Act No. 4695, creating the provinces of Benguet, Mountain Province, Ifugeo, and Kalangayapayao and providing for congressional representation in the old and new provinces, was unconstitutional for creating congressional districts without the apportionment provided in the Constitution. The court answered in the negative. Pursuant to this section, a representative district may come into existence, indirectly, through the creation of a province. €, for each province shall have at least one member in the House of Representatives, or by direct creation of several representative districts within a province. The requirements concerning the apportionment of representative districts and the territory thereof refer only to the second method of creation of representative districts, and do not apply to those incidental to the creation of provinces. Under the first method, this is deducible, not only from the general tenor of the provision above quoted, but, also, from the fact that the apportionment therein alluded to refers to that which is made by an act of Congress. Indeed, when a province is created by statute, the corresponding representative district comes into existence neither by authority of that statute €, which cannot provide otherwise €, nor by apportionment, but by operation of the Constitution, without apportionment. Second, Sima's theory also undermines the composition and independence of the House of Representatives. Under Section 19 Article 6 of RA 9054, the ARMM Regional Assembly can create provinces and cities within the ARMM with or without regard to the criteria fixed in Section 461 of RA 7160, namely, minimum annual income of P20,000,000, and minimum contiguous territory of 2,000 square kilometers or minimum population of 250,000. The following scenarios thus become distinct possibilities. An inferior legislative body like the ARMM Regional Assembly can create 100 or more provinces and thus increase the membership of a superior legislative body, the House of Representatives, beyond the maximum limit of 250 fixed in the Constitution. The proportional representation in the House of Representatives based on one representative for at least every 250 000 residents will be negated because the ARMM Regional Assembly need not comply with the requirement in Section 461 of RA 7160 that every province created must have a population of at least 250,000. And representatives from the ARMM provinces can become the majority in the House of Representatives through the ARMM Regional Assembly's continuous creation of provinces or cities within the ARMM. Neither the framers of the 1987 Constitution in adopting the provisions in Article X on regional autonomy, nor Congress in enacting RA 9054, envisioned or intended these disastrous consequences that certainly would wreck the tri-branch system of government under our Constitution. Clearly, the power to create or reportion legislative districts cannot be delegated by Congress but must be exercised by Congress itself. Even the ARMM Regional Assembly recognizes this. The Constitution empowered Congress to create or reportion legislative districts, not the regional assemblies. Section 3 of the Ordinance to the Constitution, which states, New York Province that may hereafter be created XXX shall be entitled in the immediately following election to at least one member, refers to a province created by Congress itself through a national law. The reason is that the creation of a province increases the actual membership of the House of Representatives, an increase that only Congress can decide. Incidentally, in the present 14th Congress, there are 219 district representatives out of the maximum 250 seats in the House of Representatives. Since party list members shall constitute 20% of total membership of the House, there should at least be 50 party list seats available in every election in case 50 party list candidates are proclaimed winners. This leaves only 200 seats for district representatives, much less than the 219 incumbent district representatives. Thus, there is a need now for Congress to increase by law the allowable membership of the House, even before Congress can create new provinces. The present case involves the creation of a local government unit that necessarily involves also the creation of a legislative district. The court will not pass upon the constitutionality of the creation of municipalities and barangays that does not comply with the criteria established in Section 461 of RA 7160, as mandated in Section 10. Article X of the Constitution, because the creation of such municipalities and barangays does not involve the creation of legislative districts. We leave the resolution of this issue to an appropriate case. In summary, we rule that Section 19, Article 6 of RA 9054, insofar as it grants to the ARMM Regional Assembly the power to create provinces and cities, is void for being contrary to Section 5 of Article 6 and Section 20 of Article X of the Constitution, as well as Section 3 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution. Only Congress can create provinces and cities because the creation of provinces and cities necessarily includes the creation of legislative districts, a power only Congress can exercise under Section 5. Article 6 of the Constitution and Section 3 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution. The ARMM Regional Assembly cannot create a province without a legislative district because the Constitution mandates that every province shall have a legislative district. Moreover, the ARMM Regional Assembly cannot enact a law creating a national office like the office of a district representative of Congress because the legislative powers of the ARMM Regional Assembly operate only within its territorial jurisdiction. As provided in Section 20, Article X of the Constitution. Thus, we rule that MMA Act 201, enacted by the ARMM Regional Assembly and creating the province of Shariff Kabunsuan, is void. Resolution number 7902 complies with the Constitution. Consequently, we hold that COMELEC Resolution number 7902, preserving the geographic and legislative district of the 1st District of Maguindanao with Cotabato City, is valid as it merely complies with Section 5 of Article 6 and Section 20 of Article X of the Constitution. as well as Section 1 of the Ordinance appended to the Constitution. The